what you may not know is a long time ago, I was Specialist 2 Chief, an airborne infantryman in the U.S. Army and National Guard. As I said, Stan, today is Veterans Day. And behind you stand such veterans shoulder to shoulder with you, active war fighters of the United States Army, Navy, and we're with our veterans of the Air Force, Army, and we're all here to present you with some things.
I'll never know he lost the page.
We've gathered here tonight to honor a member of our greatest generation, our hero and World War II veteran, Sergeant Stan Lee of the United States Army. Forgive me, I'm very nervous. Stan, when word got out a little over a week ago, and it's been a little over a week, that this would be your last official East Coast appearance, military honors arrived not only from the New England area, but also from around the country. And we, the former and current service members of the United States Armed Forces, are here to present you with the honors and appreciation of a grateful nation. So without further ado, and with military efficiency, I promise everybody, I'd like to present to you on behalf of the world's largest veterans association, the American Legion, U.S. Army Captain Jason Odom and Airman Randy House. When you want, that's it, yeah.
I hope you're all as proud as I am. We have the greatest armed force of any nation in the world. No matter what our two presidential contenders might have been arguing. These men standing here deserve every honor that they can receive. And I am so touched by this. I can hardly speak. I can't tell. Thank you. Thank you.
Number one!
It's just beginning. We have more. On behalf of the Marine Corps League, State of Connecticut, I'd like to introduce to you Dominic Falcone.
Your commitment and loyalty to the United States of America and to your service and bravery in the United States Army during World War II, awarded this 11th day of November, 2016.
My best friend, who isn't able to be here, I thought he would be here, he couldn't make it from his home in New Jersey, but he was a captain in the Marines during World War II. I cannot wait to tell him where I got. Man, thank you so much.
Do you know any airmen, anyone from the Air Force? Because we also, on behalf of the Air Division, Texas State Air Guard, I'd like to introduce to you retired U.S. Army Master Sergeant Patricia A. House and retired U.S. Air Force Tech Sergeant Michael P. Falcone.
Small token of appreciation, as Mr. Tucci said, from the Texas State Guard, and a small token of appreciation, they say the following to Sergeant Stan the Man Lee. Thank you for your talent, enthusiasm, cameos, and service to this country.
They're not cameos.
Captain Sean D. James, Texas Guard Commander, 447th Communications Squadron.
impressive contingent from the United States Navy. I am honored to introduce Chief Petty Officer Kurt Anderson, Petty Officer First Class David Hensley, Petty Officer First Class Timothy Osborne, Petty Officer First Class Trevor Freyermuth. I know I said it wrong. Petty Officer, forgive me. Freyermuth, Petty Officer Alex Chavez, and Petty Officer First Class Julio Munoz.
This is to commend Stan Lee, who has earned grateful and heartfelt appreciation for his service in the United States Army as a sergeant with the U.S. Army Signal Corps from 1942 to 1945. His steadfast sacrifice and service to our nation has provided everlasting contributions to the United States Army and to the citizens of the United States of America. Given this 11th day of November 2016, signed J.A. Long, Commander, United States Navy, Commanding Officer. Included is also a personal letter from my skipper, Skipper Long.
Remember the movie Sergeant York? I think they'll be making a movie now by military. That's the only thing left.
And Stan, speaking of your military career, from your branch of service and my branch of service, the United States Army, it gives me great pleasure to introduce Captain James R. Whitney, commanding Rhode Island Recruiting Company, United States Army.
When we knew we were going to meet you, we assumed you were going to get a number of challenge coins. So on behalf of the New England Recruiting Battalion, I'd like to present you your very own coin rack. We also have it inscribed to Mr. Stanley. Thank you for your years of dedicated service. You are an inspiration and a hero to generations of soldiers, past and present.
And last but not, this is it. And last, but certainly not least, please say hello to the Rhode Island Comic-Con's very own,
Mom, Dad.
no, sorry, Army veteran, Specialist Joseph Goulart, and Army Staff Sergeant Joshua Dwayne Mitchell. Staff Sergeant Mitchell, a great soldier and a fantastic artist in his own right, recently returned from a long tour of Korea and has something truly special for you from one of your biggest fans who wanted to be here but is attending his daughter's college homecoming. Family comes first, even for the big shots. United States Army Major General Anthony C. Funkhauser, Commanding General, Center of Initial Military Training, U.S. Army Training and Doctrine Command, Fort Eustis, Virginia. And I'm going to read a personal letter he has for you. And he's a huge fan of yours. This is a Major General. And if I may, forgive me guys, like I said, it was a long time ago.
When I was a sergeant, I didn't really get that many notes from Major General.
Mr. Stanley, dear Stan, on behalf of the leaders and soldiers of the United States Army, I want to extend our thanks and appreciation for your service as an Army soldier in World War II on this Veterans Day. Your generation's selfless commitment and willingness to sacrifice for the greater good is an inspiration and a model for us all to emulate. Over 72 years ago, you and so many others became the giants whose shoulders we stand upon today. You have had an amazing life of epic accomplishments after your military service, but I hope that your time in uniform remains a highlight of your life. We, as all veterans, hope that you will carry the title of Soldier for Life and share your experiences in the military with our current generation and encourage and support them as they follow in you and so many others' footsteps. Again, thank you for your military service as a sergeant in the Signal Corps. We wish you continued success in all your future adventures. Army strong. Sincerely, Anthony C. Funkhauser, Major General, U.S. Army, but he wrote another little thing that said, we could not be more proud of you and your generation's service. Thank you for your service and your sacrifice. And I'd like to present to you a flag that was flown in your honor. Sorry, this is certified that the accompanying flag was flown over Joint Base Langley Eustis, Fort Eustis, Virginia on 2nd November 2016. At the request of Major General Anthony C. Funkhauser, Army Senior Commander, this flag was flown for Mr. Stan Lee on the occasion of Veterans Day and his faithful service to our nation as a United States soldier during World War II. That's your certificate and your letter from the Major General.
I gotta say, next to my marriage and the birth of my daughter, this is the most sensational moment in my life. I will never forget. In fact, it's on a plane with my marriage and the birth of my daughter. I will never forget this. It is such an honor, which I'm sure I don't deserve. They've got me mixed up with someone else. But I can't thank you enough. I will never forget this moment. And it just proves what I've always said. We have the greatest military in the whole world.
I will take it home. Nope, I will take it home. Every one of these service members, past and present, are huge fans of yours. We were all brought together through our mutual love of comics. So this presentation basically is all your fault. But seriously, we, all of us, owe you so much. Don't we? All right. We thank you for enriching our lives and bringing our worlds together through your astonishing imagination and personality. You embody the true meaning of the word Excelsior and have inspired us ever upward with your superheroes. But in reality, Stan, you are the real superhero. Amen. And we salute you.
When are you going to get to the good part?
I think
Detachment, present arms. Thank you for your service.
yes.
Somebody isn't filming this. I'm going to talk to you again.